It might be an understatement to say the Palestinian resistance in their recent battle with the Israeli regime has raised the levels. Resistance movements in the besieged Gaza Strip have declared victory in their operation dubbed Sword of al-Quds. By Israel's own account, its media outlets, its politicians and some analysts have admitted the regime suffered an embarrassing defeat for agreeing to a ceasefire. The leader of Iran's Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, has hailed the Palestinian resistance factions, calling their victory against Israel as a divine one. In a letter addressed to the Hamas resistance movement, Ayatollah Khamenei said, "Your struggle is the resistance against oppression, heresy and arrogance. Such a struggle pleases the Almighty, revered God, and is of, O you who have faith, if you help Allah, He will help you and make your feet steady." The leader there citing verse 7 of the 47th chapter of the Holy Quran. Ayatollah Khamenei added, "You will be victorious by the power of God and cleanse the Holy Land from the filth of the usurpers, God willing." Analysts say the resistance victory over Israel has changed the equation in the occupied Palestinian territories.
Military people talk about Palestine, about Gaza, as needing to be attacked from time to time, routinely, just as you would mow the grass in your garden. And killing and destruction of buildings and infrastructure is something needing routinely and as easily as you would mow the lawn, cut the grass. I think the last round showed Palestinian resistance at an unprecedentedly high level. It shocked the Israelis. I don't know what they're going to think in a few days, but at the moment they're seriously having to rethink the idea that they can effortlessly crush Palestinian resistance.
In a separate letter to the Palestinian Islamic Jihad resistance movement, Ayatollah Khamenei noted that the final victory will come to the Palestinians. The great and victorious jihad of you Palestinian brothers lit up the eyes of your lovers all over the world, the leader added.
The leader of Iran's Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, different Palestinian resistance groups have thanked Iran. They said victory will not have been achieved if it had not received Tehran's support. The groups also praised the slain commander of Iran's Islamic Revolution Guards Corps, Lieutenant General Qasem Soleimani, and his successor, General Ismail Qani. They said the two commanders have played a pivotal role in supporting the Palestinian cause.
During the battle, the military wing of the Hamas resistance movement, the Izzuddin al-Qassam brigades, and the military wing of the Islamic Jihad resistance movement, the al-Quds brigades, fired thousands of missiles at Israel. The missiles rained down heavily on Israeli settlements that had not been reached before by Palestinians, including Tel Aviv. For its part, the Israeli bombardment on the besieged Gaza Strip has killed scores of women, children, and the elderly. According to Palestinian officials, Tel Aviv killed more Palestinian children than armed resistance members. The Palestinian retaliation from Gaza was triggered in response to the Israeli regime's weeks-long attacks on peaceful worshippers during the holy month of Ramadan at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in occupied Jerusalem, al-Quds, Islam's third holiest site, which is located in the occupied West Bank. The regime's forces had also been attacking residents protesting against the illegal grabbing of their land to make way for Israeli squatters. Israel's settlement activities are illegal under international law, while Iran's support for the Palestinians stretches back to decades. There has been a lack of assistance from regional Arab countries.
I don't think the Arab nations as a whole have ever come to the support of the Palestinians, and now they need every support they can get. Whether you support Palestine completely or not, is the litmus test, is the line between those who have this and those who are with Israeli ethnic cleansing and settler colonialism.
In a statement, the al-Qassam brigades said it has now established a new reality on the ground and a new equation with Israel. Bombing raids in exchange for bombing raids. Blood in exchange for blood. Demolition in exchange for demolition. And our missiles are ready, awaiting an order to fire. In another show of defiance, the leader of Hamas in Gaza, Yahya Sinwar, has participated at an event marking the victory and honoring the martyrs of the Operation Sword of Jerusalem, al-Quds. His appearance in public comes with death threats repeatedly by Tel Aviv on the Hamas chief.